like, yeah, but honestly, what I wanted to tell you is that... What the fudge? Hi everyone, it's Kachi, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, also the notification bell to be notified of all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so in order to keep making content like this. So we are back with another episode of Not So Berry, and we are here with Miss Sienna leaving the bathroom. But it's actually the last day of her first term at uni. She has one more term to go, but to celebrate this term being over, it is spooky day, so we are going to be having a spooky day party at the dorm. But before we do that, I do want her to go out, or she wants to go out. She actually called up Julian, and she's like, it has been a while since we've chatted. It's probably been since, I gave you the results of the paternity test, and we really haven't spoken since, and I would really love to catch up with you. And Julian's like, you're right. I would also like to catch up with you and see how things are. A lot has been going on with me, and I'm hoping we can really, get back to where we were when we were really tight. But that is where she's headed now. She's going to get dressed to go see Julian. It is going to be a little bit weird because obviously the last significant amount of time they spent together was prom night when Julian lost his V-card turn, and then there was that weirdness at the wedding where she had to kind of say, hey, I'm pregnant and I don't know whether it's your baby or Andre's baby. But Sienna really is hoping to get past that. She kind of really does miss Julian. I really miss when we used to be able to just hang out and goof off and play video games together and have a really good time. So I really want to get back to that. But at the same time, they did also used to date. So Sienna's like, I still want to look good though at the same time too, because I still want to have that same effect that I've always had on Julian, where he's been, just hopelessly in love with me. So she's going to change, and she's going to meet Julian at Pepper's for lunch, but we will see them there. So Sienna has gotten to a Pepper's pub in Newcrest. I believe there's a Pepper's pub in Brightchester. And since this is a satellite campus, in my universe, Pepper's is like a chain bar, so there's a Pepper's pub in Newcrest right by campus too. So she asked Julian, she's like, do you mind coming out to Newcrest? And he's like, yeah, I can make the trip for an old friend. So she is here, and this is Julian. You guys saw his young adult makeover at the wedding, so that should be not brand new news. Julian's always crying, but it's for a reason this time. Actually, Tina's wife, Yasmin, so, Julian's other mother, passed recently, so I believe he's still grieving from that, so that's why his eyes are like that. I'm going to go ahead and Tina's going to go ahead and give Julian a little embrace. She's like, it's been so long since we've really gotten a chance to catch up, so, how are you? He seems to still be feeling it from losing his mother. But he's all like, yeah, it really is great to see you, Sienna. You look great. And Sienna's like, thank you, Julian. You look good too. Like, it's been so long since I've seen you. It's good to see a familiar face in Newcrest. He's like, yeah, let's go ahead and head in and, get to talking. So Sienna wanted to start out pretty pleasant. She's like, how are you, Julian? How are things in Evergreen Harbor? And Julian's like, they're great. Things are probably the same as you left them. But she is noticing that Julian seems pretty sad. So she's like, are you okay? Like, it seems like there's something bothering you. And Julian's like, well, I'm good. It's just, I lost my mother recently. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Julian, that's awful. Everybody just seems to be moving on these days. It seems like all the adults that we grew up with when we were kids are all starting to pass now. My dad's best friend, Aiden, actually just passed too. And, he's experienced a lot of loss recently. Not just Aiden, but his friend Frederick and his friend Caden also passed away. So, I think even Knox has passed as well. Knox did pass. just to be clear, Knox just passed between this episode and I think last episode. I don't want to say it happened right after the wedding because that would just be sad, but it might have, for all I know. I haven't been keeping track of Knox, but it is a little bit sad that Knox finally married the woman of his dreams, the love of his life, and then he passes right after. It's so bad. But unfortunately, all the mid-gen adults are starting to pass, so this is what happens. But, Julian's like, yeah, I know what you mean, my mother, she lived a long, good life and whatnot. I'm just worried about my other mom because it just seems like to deal with her grief, she kind of jumped into a brand new marriage. And Sienna's like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy for real. And he's like, yeah, someone by the name of Gideon Harris. They say that he used to live in Evergreen Harbor, but then the Schaefers kind of bought their house and the land they were on because they defaulted on their mortgage. So, I don't know if this was all just because they were trying to get back into town and get back, some land in the area, but I don't know how to feel about it. And Sienna's like, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear about that. But how are you? Like, are you seeing anybody? And of course, Sienna is like not subtle. This girl is not subtle at all when she's asking Julian if he's seeing anybody, because she's all like, Julian's looking really good, and now that I'm not in a relationship with Andre anymore, and I am fully polyamorous and dating whoever I want, technically that leaves me wide open that maybe if I did want to start seeing Julian again, I definitely could, because it's not like I'm monogamous anymore. I could date Julian and continue seeing Ricky and Malaysia and Rahul and pretty much anybody I want right now. So, let me see where Julian is. And Julian's all like, you're asking me if I'm single? This is the first time we've had a conversation, of any length in a very long time. And she's like, well, that doesn't change the fact that I might just be curious about who you might be dating. And he's like, well, not that it's a topic of interest or something I'm trying to delve into right now, but, I might actually be seeing somebody right now. And Sia's like, oh, really? And she's a little bit caught off guard. She's all like, I can't believe Julian's seeing somebody. Like, he spent his whole life hung up on me, in love with me, and I don't know, like, she's feeling a little bit of a ways about it. She's all like, I cannot believe he moved on from me that quickly. Like, I feel like it wasn't that long ago he was thinking he might be the father of my child, and he's already seeing somebody. Like, what? And he's like, yeah, I met somebody. I was doing some work in Oasis Springs, and I met this woman while I was there, and she and I have a lot in common, and we kind of like really hit it off. And she's like, oh, wow, good for you. That's great. As you can see, that was a little bit of a half-hearted, like, good for you, because she's like, I can't believe this. And he's like, do you want to see a picture of her? She and I have been hanging out a lot, and, because you're my best friend, Sienna, it doesn't matter to me how what you think of her. I'd love your opinion. And Sienna's like, this is like a weird position. We are technically best friends, but we're intimate with each other, and we used to date, so it's a little bit weird. But she's like, yeah, I mean, I can look at a picture of her with you. So Julian's showing, he's like, see, this is what she looks like. This is her profile on Instagram, and here are some of the pictures that we took together the last couple times we hung out. So, like, what do you think? Do you think that she's cute? And Sienna's looking at the pictures, and she's like, oh my goodness. She's like, oh, she's beautiful. And like, she deep down in her heart was hoping that, like, okay, so Julian's seeing somebody new, but maybe she, is a total dog. And then maybe I could just win him back. Which is very selfish of her, but this is Sienna. She kind of likes having Julian be infatuated with her. She's always liked that. She's just never been able to reciprocate those feelings on the same level, which has been very selfish of her to always want to keep Julian in her back pocket like that. And now Julian's moved on and he's seeing somebody and she's seeing a picture of her and she's like, wow, she's really pretty. And he just kind of lights up when he talks about her, and it's like, I hate the fact that I'm feeling a little bit of bitterness, like a twinge in my heart right now, but it just feels like this is really it. I think Julian's kind of moved on from me, and she's like, Julian, she's really pretty, she's beautiful. And he's like, you really think so? And she's like, yeah, you guys look like you're great together, honestly. And he's like, Sienna, I'm so glad you said that. It means the world to me that you like her, I know it seems silly that I should put so much stock in somebody else's opinion, but I really do value your opinion. I think, despite some of the people you might have dated, I think deep down in your heart, you're a really good judge of character. After all, you didn't marry Andre, right? She's like, ha ha. And he's like, yeah, but honestly, like, I really do think that you really can, you got a good picker when it comes to having good people around you. So it's important to me that you get a good feeling from her. She's like, yeah, of course, Julian. She's like, for real, Julian, I'm so glad that things are good with you. And he's like, yeah, and honestly, there's something else I wanted to tell you, but I just wanted to get your feelings on I guess I should spill the beans and tell you that she's just not a girl I'm seeing. She's actually my girlfriend. Oh, look at him giving her a hug. And she's like, oh, really? Like, congratulations on her being your girlfriend. He's like, yeah, but honestly, what I wanted to tell you is that, well, what the fudge? What the fudge? Yo. I can't. Oh, gosh. Y'all ruined my story. Y'all ruined my story. Oh, gosh. So I guess Julian got really, like, that kiss really intoxicated him, because he went in and he did another one, and he's like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, and this kiss is lasting forever. He's like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't mean to do that. And Sienna's all like, Julian, you don't have to apologize to me. Like, we've always had undeniable chemistry, so it's hard to turn that off sometimes. You and I dated for a while. We lost our virginities to each other. And he's like, well, asterisk, I lost my virginity to you. You didn't. She's like, well, in my heart, I lost my virginity to you. So, potato, potato. But that aside, you and I have always had great chemistry with one another. And, the last time we talked about you and me, we kind of really weren't done. We were talking about the possibility of there being a part 2. And Julian's like, I know that, Sienna, but there can't be a part 2 between you and I. And she's like, I don't understand. Why not? And he's like, well, the other thing I wanted to tell you about is Julian stepped out into the foyer just to get some air because, it is hot underneath that collar after all that kissing they just did. And he's like, Sienna, I need to tell you, it's not just that I'm dating somebody else, but she's actually pregnant with my baby. And she's like, you're joking me. And he's like, no. Like, things kind of happened really fast between, my girlfriend's name's Carrie. So things happened really fast between Carrie and I. And, we got pregnant. And Sienna's like, Julian, what the heck? You and I dated for a while before we, did anything like that together. And you mean to tell me that you just hopped into the bed with this new girl? It's just like, I don't understand. Like, you and I took so much time before we did that together, and just so quickly with this new girl. And he's like, so, you and I aren't together, so how fast or slow I decide to take that next step with somebody is not really your business. And she's like, after you told me that you valued my opinion on things like this. And he's like, I value your opinion on you being, a good judge of character of people, being able to sense good people out. Not your opinion when it comes to when I should woohoo with people. And she's like, okay, whatever, but you're sure she's pregnant? I mean, did you get a pregnancy test? And he's all like, well, I mean, she's practically ready about to pop. She's in her 3rd trimester. So, unless she went on some, weird diet where she's eating a whole lot of food, like, I'm pretty sure she's pregnant. And Gina's like, wow, this is just a lot to take, Julian. Like, it just seems like it was not that long ago that I had my pregnancy scare when it came to you being potentially the father, and now you're actually the father of somebody else's baby. Are you sure it's yours? And Julian's like, yeah, I'm sure it's mine. Things just seem different with Carrie. She and I have so much in common, and it's funny, but when she told me she was pregnant, I wasn't really all that freaked out. I was actually excited at the prospect of being a father. And Sienna's like, wow, like, I guess, I mean, that must really mean something, because when I told you I was pregnant and you might be the father, you had reservations. And with her, you want to, I guess, see where things go. Maybe get married. Is that where things are headed? And Julian's like, well, I mean, I wasn't going to say anything yet, but I have been doing some ring shopping, and I do think I want to propose to Carrie and, make us a proper family with their baby on the way. And Sienna's feeling a little bit sad, because she's like, wow, like, I always thought in my heart that if Julian had ended up being the father of Zari, that he would have been a really great father. And, I don't know if I would have wanted to marry him, because I feel really strongly about my choice to call the wedding off with with Andre, so I could pursue my career dreams, which is what I really wanted. And I'm doing that right now. But with Julian, I sometimes wonder if maybe I would have went through with it if he had been the father and he had been the one to propose to me and ask me to marry him. But I guess I'll never know. So Julian's like, yeah, I really am thinking about it, and I really hope she says yes. And Sienna's like, I hope she does too. Honestly, if you want my opinion on it, she's going to say yes. And he's like, well, how do you know? And Sienna's like, it's because it's you, Julian. Anybody would be foolish to say no to you, or say no to being your wife. And Julian's like, that's sweet of you to say, Sienna, given everything. And she's all like, get out of my way. Just get out of the way. And Sienna's all like, it's because of you. It's because it's... Can y'all hook up somewhere else? In the shot of my camera. Like, come on. I'm trying to have a sweet sentimental moment with my Sims here, and y'all want to be groping and grabbing and doing all types of stuff. Like, come on, move. Sienna's all like, well, it's because of everything that we've been through and the type of person that you are that I would even say that. Like, Julian, you're a really great guy, and you're a really great catch, and, Carrie's lucky to have you. She really is. And Julian's all like, I'm flattered. And so with the period done on the Julian and Sienna, won't they be endgame? Will they be endgame? I think it's safe to say at this point, guys, that Julian and Sienna aren't going to be endgame, and it's time to move on. Sienna's kind of moved on a lot with her being poly. She's been with a lot of people since Julian. But, you never forget your first love, as they say. So, she's gonna go ahead and, give Julian a hug. I did make this meet up like a date so that we could get that. Did we get the gold medal? Because we need that. It was a date. No, we didn't even get it. Oh my gosh, what was the point then? I'm mad at myself. Oh well. We'll do another date. I don't know how many of these gold medal dates we need, but I don't think we got the gold medal. Oh well. Anyway, she's gonna give Julian a hug and say, it's been great catching up with you, Julian. I've really missed just hanging out. She's gonna give him a hug. She's all like, you should really come by my dorm. We're having a Halloween party. And he's like, Sienna, that sounds like fun and all, but I really should get back to Oasis Springs. I've been staying with Kiri and her family through the last part of her pregnancy to make sure I don't miss when her water breaks. And she's like, that's a good idea, Julian. It would have been cool though for you to stay for the party. And Julian's like, yeah, but if I did, I'd probably get myself into more trouble because it just seems like maybe there's too much of a, connection between the two of us. I don't want to cheat on my girlfriend any more than I might already have through those kisses. And Siena's like, understandable. You know what? Siena's like, before you go, I do think that it's important that we make it very clear that from now on, we really are just platonic friends. And Julian's like, yeah, I definitely agree. We're both finally, really moving on. And I think we should do these get-togethers more often. I think just because we're not dating anymore, we don't have those type of romantic feelings for each other anymore doesn't mean that we shouldn't still be able to hang out and catch up. And Siena's like, I mean, you're my best friend, Julian, so I'd always want to catch up with you and see how you are. Let me know when your baby comes. I want to send the baby a gift. And Julian's like, that's sweet. I appreciate that. So Siena's going to go ahead and she's going to say, yeah, let's just be friends so we can clear out this relationship bar that they have. There we go. And she's like, so I guess I'll see you around, Julian. And she's like, yeah, I guess we will. I guess we'll be seeing each other. So I'm going to have Sienna go before they both get in trouble. Because the problem with them, because if you guys remember back in episode, I don't remember, but when they broke up all the way back when, I had them just be friends then. But the two of them just always end up with so much romantic chemistry that they just build the bar back up. So as you can see, it was full before. That was from them just like every single time they're around each other, they just can't help themselves. But like, I think with her probably only being able to see Julian every once so often, that shouldn't happen again. They're back to being just friends, but he's still very flirty, and I think she's pretty flirty too. So, yeah, let's go. Let's go home. She's gonna get ready for the Halloween party, and we will catch back with her then. So I know I said that we were going to go right to the party at the dorm, but I did want to check in with the Everberry household proper, so we can see a little Zari. Since it is spooky day, I did want us to be able to see Zari in his cute little pumpkin costume. So Nora and Glade and Zari went as farmers in a pumpkin patch. I am just noticing that Nora got some cakes for her old age. But yeah, you guys haven't seen Nora since she aged up. Let me take her out of her mask. She's always in this thing, I swear. I can't with it at all. Okay, there we go. But since I last played, because I have been playing a bunch off screen to get through Sienna's university life. But during that time, Nora aged up off screen, so she's an elder now, and sis aged up so good. I'm telling you, look, I might hate the fact that she's stuck in a face mask 24/7, but that face mask has made her skin super resilient, and she looks very, very good for an old woman. But I changed her hair and gave her a little elder makeover. I don't know if I'll show you guys that, because, no offense, but Nora doesn't really matter. But this is her in her little farmer costume for Spooky Day. I've got Glade in his little farmer costume for Spooky Day as well. He is looking pretty sad because he's lost a whole bunch of friends. He lost Blue Bunny. He lost his best friend Aiden. He lost Frederick. Knox passed away. Everybody in his life is just dying. Ooh, this dude is so attractive. Hi, Dominic. But anyway, he's gonna try and buck up and have a happy time because this is Zari's first Spooky Day, and look at him in his little pumpkin costume. He's so cute. It reminds me of when my son had his first Halloween. Toddlers in costumes are just so cute. But look at little Zari. He is so cute. Look at him. He's just adorable. But they're going to go ahead and we're not going to spend a lot of time. I just wanted you guys to see them in their costume. But they're about to have, some pumpkin patch time. And this little pumpkin patch area. Hang out with Zari and have, just some Halloween fun. And then afterwards they're going to get some spooky treats and a spooky eat inside, because this is actually a restaurant. I will pop the gallery deeds. I always say that and I always forget. If I forget, just yell at me in the comment section and I'll get that for you. But this restaurant's so cute because all of the waiters and staff are dressed up in costumes. So this is like a perfect Halloween restaurant if you want to do like a Halloween thing with restaurants in your game for this spooky season. But yeah, this is them, and I'm gonna just let them hang out here and have a good time. Oh baby, don't cry. Oh, Nora's getting a call. Who died? Okay. One of my favorite festivals. No, Sienna, you're having a Halloween party. What are you talking about? Speaking of, let's get to that party. So we are at the Halloween party, which is actually not a Halloween party. It's a keg party, as you can see from the corner. For some reason, you can't have spooky parties on university housing, so I don't know. But you know what? It doesn't matter because let's be real. Every keg party or every college party is a keg party, even if it's a spooky party. So I had Sienna get dressed in her little costume, and her roommates did too. Nobody else is dressed that way because it's not a spooky party, but it's whatever. But she's getting her entire life. Look at her dancing as Jessica Rabbit. We love to see it. But I'm going to let her get her life on. I may put some screenshots of the party towards the end of the video. I might not. It depends. But I'm just going to let this play out. But Sienna's like, look, I am a little bit bummed that Jillian moved on from me. And it hurts a little bit. But, I'm going to get my Drake on, keep my poly game going. And I'm going to, do my best to forget about all that by just keeping it moving. Plus, while she was away, she actually got her school grades. She's officially on next term, but I missed what her grades are. She most likely did really well though, because she has an A GPA. I just don't know what her grades are because it just didn't pop up. Just said sign up for a new term. But it doesn't matter. We got an A GPA. We're getting our entire life partying, and we're just gonna end things right here. But as always, guys, let me know in the comment section down below, how do you think Sienna's uni experience is going to end? And what about Jillian? Do you think that they're really, really done? Or do you think that there's still more to that chapter? I mean, from my standpoint, like, no spoilers, but spoilers, for me, they're really done. But hey, sometimes my Sims have a mind of their own, and I decide to go with it. So just let me know what you think, where you think they are. But as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay dazzled. I will see you in the next one. Bye.